Super Tuesday results. Mitt Romney picked up Alaska, Idaho, Massachusetts, Ohio, Virginia, and Vermont. Massachusetts and Vermont were givens. We knew he was going to get Virginia because there was almost no one on that ballot, Lewis, because of failures to get on that ballot. Rick Santorum winning in North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Then Newt Gingrich getting Georgia, his home state. That's all he could muster. Ron Paul getting nothing.
And what are the Paul bots saying about that?
They're being quiet. Yeah, not much to say.
Have they finally been silenced?
Voter fraud. It was voter fraud.
Oh, okay.
Delegates. Okay, Mitt Romney is in the lead with 429 delegates right now. Santorum in second place with 169. Gingrich 118. Now, bear in mind, this is basically considered a two-person race right now between Romney and Santorum. But really, Santorum and Gingrich are very close when it comes to electoral votes. It's just Gingrich has absolutely no momentum, and I'll talk in a little bit about how he's falling asleep at speeches. That's not going to enliven voters too much, is it?
No. But I can imagine his response to falling asleep during a speech. And it's probably the same response he gave when asked about adultery.
Right. He's just so passionate and patriotic that he's
been working so hard.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You got to sleep.
And I want to add Ron Paul, 67 delegates. Now, out of curiosity, the popular vote, not that it actually determines who gets the Republican nomination, but the popular vote, Romney, 40% of the popular vote right now. He's ahead. Rick Santorum, 24%. Newt Gingrich, 23%. So when we look at popular vote, Santorum and Gingrich are almost tied, even though Santorum does have a little bit more of an edge when it comes to delegates. Ron Paul getting 11% of the popular vote, just over 1 out of every 10 votes. So what, right? So the longer that this goes, the better it is for Barack Obama on a number of levels. Number one, more money spent in the primary. It's not a hard and fast rule, but on the whole, less money that Republicans will have to spend against Barack Obama because that's just the way math works. I mean, certainly there will be subsequent fundraising campaigns, but some voters are only going to donate a fixed amount of money. And if they're donating it in the primaries, they're not going to donate it during the general election. I mean, that's just plain and simple.
Right.
Also, though, the longer this goes, the more negatively that some of these Republican candidates are being perceived by voters. I mean, Mitt Romney's, even within the Republican Party, Mitt Romney's still the favorite, more and more negatively perceived by voters. I mean, Natan, is this a surprise? Or should we just assume that is there anything good about this going longer from the point of view of Republicans, or is it all bad?
Well, I think in this case, it's bad for Republicans. I think in 2008, what happened with Obama and Clinton wasn't that bad for Democrats because the supporters of one candidate supported the other one in principle. Whereas now I think that a lot of the Santorum supporters don't like Romney at all and vice versa. And I think this is going to come to a head at the convention, and then it might damage their chances of beating Obama.
Well, there's that, Lewis, but there's also another thing, which is that if you were a Hillary supporter, you were not going to go and vote for John McCain on the whole. Of course, there's examples of everything, but on the whole, you're going to vote for Obama. Right now, there are people who have some agreements with Barack Obama. They have some agreements with Mitt Romney. But when it comes down to it, they actually will be deciding. It will be a serious choice between Romney and Obama. And the longer this goes and the more negative Romney is perceived, the effect is going to be much more real in terms of helping Obama. Whereas with Hillary and Obama, it going longer, listen, you're going to vote for whichever one of the two is the candidate in the end.
Absolutely right. I mean, if you're talking post-primary, after all of the primary candidates are done going after each other, I mean, a lot of people are already going to have a pretty bad impression, and then of all of those candidates, and
why wouldn't they?
Right, and believe me, I think Obama has some serious firepower for whoever is going to be the candidate, and I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided battle.
All right, well, we'll follow up with Lewis on that.